Welcome back into another reverse 1999 video. Today we are on day 43 of the free-to-play journey, but as you can see, we are not going to be making this video in the actual account itself. Today's video is going to be concerning how do we as free-to-plays prevent from failing on summons, on basically staying in touch with the power creep that is going to be coming, which is not a bad thing. It's just a natural course of action for most gacha games and new characters that come out. Progressively, they should be better. Progressively, they should have new mechanics and stronger, or else we kind of stay with this stale, boring kind of style throughout the entirety of the game's live service. So this video is going to be for anyone who is looking to see who they should be summoning for, which characters would probably be better to skip and wait for them to come back out in future banners if they really want to pick those characters up, and which ones we can go for in a safe order to make sure that we stay on top of the power creep. Now, I've made a couple videos of like this before in the past, and every single time we get some leaks or new characters or new event comes out on the CN side, I feel like it's only fair that I update this and update my thought process for it, because of course with new characters comes with a change of strategy as well, and of course new meta in the future means that we need to plan for that new meta as well. Of course, this is completely subjective to my thought process, and everyone could have their own thought process. So I'm not saying that this is like the god tier way to go about it. It's just from the information and ideas that I have, that I feel that I've basically congrued together to make the best assumption on which characters to go for and give us the most forward way of thinking of staying in touch with the power creep. Now, okay, that was a long intro and I apologize, but I wanted to get all of that out there so that way we can have a better understanding of what we're actually going to be looking at today. I've taken the liberty to order everyone in their releases. So anyone that is coming in 1.5, we will see right here. Anyone in 1.6, we will see right here. Anyone in 1.7, we see right here. And then we'll jump into the 1.8 information by using this, because it is not clarified already in the Predwin website with the characters and everything like that, basically planned out with their kits and everything in the format of this. So first and foremost, we're going to go each event that based on the 5 stars and then go into the 6 stars. The 5 stars are not something that we are going to be targeting, but I want to talk about them because some of them do add value to accounts. Obviously, if we pick some of them up on the way, they are good, and the pure purpose of me speaking about them is letting you know that it is okay to put some resources into them to build them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. And before we do, sorry, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We do make daily or every other day content on Reverse 1999. We have a free-to-play journey account, which obviously we will show in the one before this or the one after this. This is day 43. So first up, we have Desert Flannel. She is going to be our new 5-star Beast Afflatus. She is tagged as a support / DPS. Let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to go quickly through like the abilities and everything like that. Obviously, you can read everything that's on screen. I'm just going to look over them myself and read over them myself with you guys, so that way we can get an understanding of what I'm thinking on where they will fit in and if they are of value to continue to push or just leave them behind. So with Desert Flannel, she does come with this kind of counter status and everything on her abilities. We have enjoyed counter status on a couple different characters already. One being Balloon Party, which we use very, very prominently, and she does very well. As for a 5-star though, being a Beast 5-star and being a support / DPS, then if we have a Charmaine already, she is not worth putting into. If we are going for a GU, she is not worth putting into, which I think most of us are probably going to be going for at least a P0 GU. So as for her, if you pick her up, great. I would say that she is, for now, someone that we don't really want to put anything into. 100% she will get better with some other characters, and I will explain that. One of them being Gaetian will allow her to pop off a little bit more as well. So someone that we don't really want to put into right away, but she does have some potential later on down the road. So don't be upset if you pick up a couple copies of her. As for her portrays, we're looking at Beep Beep Bop Bop Plappy, level 1 and level 2, which is going to be this right here with this little ostrich or whatever that is. Gets a mass healing HP plus to user attack for allies, grants 2 stacks of power burst, which is damage bonus when stacking when attacking -1 target after a trigger. So overall, pretty decent character. Not someone that we really want to focus on with any of our resources right off the bat. 1.5 is coming out pretty soon, and I'm assuming that like 90% of us as free-to-plays are going to skip this event completely until they come out later, unless obviously we're going for a specific character, which would be Spadia, which will allow us to kind of get a little bit more out of our Isolde once we get to her. Next up, we're going to go with Ululu. At the end of this, I'm going to reorder these in the path that I would say is most valuable. So that way, we'll save that to the end. We'll get everyone in order, and then we'll move on from that. So next is going to be Ulu, which is a 5-star mineral, support DPS burn. Obviously, she has the burn effect, which is going to be kind of part of the Isolde. So I would say if, since she's going to be in the regular banner, if you do end up picking her up, she would be someone that would be fun, visually to have on the team. But she really doesn't do anything major that calls for my attention to say that she should be put into like early on in value. She's not going to have a lot of early on value until we get to like the burn comp, which is going to be a Solde, which obviously comes after Jiu, and we are saving for Jiu. So I would say another one to where if you grab her, great, but don't initially put any resources into her. It's not really worth it. With her portray, she gets her boost of opening ceremony, and then the last one being the Indomitable Fire Scorching Heart, which would be her skill 1 or her ultimate right there. So pretty cool looking model though, I won't lie. She is actually one of my favorite character models so far in the game, and I think I spoke about this a long time ago whenever this first got released. I'm pretty sad that she doesn't have the immediate value for me to put in there. Next up, we are going to look at Ezra. So right now we have 2 skips of resource management. We'll just call it that, resource management. We have 2 skips so far for 1.5. As for Ezra, another one of those that has like a unique kind of style with the shielding. This one I am torn between. When I first looked at Ezra, I felt like this character had a ton of potential, but we just didn't have the other characters to pop off that potential, or the other characters that would really benefit from the potential of this character. This is a little mushroom person. If we scroll down here, we look at the other little costume. So it's the little mushroom one, the girl right there. Let's go back up here, sorry. So the ultimate mass buff, Moxie +1 and Eureka +1. So obviously we can use Ezra in a comp with like any of the people that we have Eureka right now, which would be 6 and 37, and anyone else who comes out later that uses that Eureka kind of, I don't know, abilities and stuff like that. As of now, because we are most likely skipping everyone on this banner, if you do end up getting in the future this character as a free-to-play, again, I would say, feel safe to skip on this. Decent character overall, very good for raids, I would say. Ezra would be really good for those different raids and stuff that come out. But as of now, we're not focused purely just on raids. We're looking at account value overall, and raids are just maybe one section of the account. Moving on to Spadia, one of my absolute favorite characters in the game, aesthetically and abilities and everything like that. And obviously, if we are going for Isolde, then we definitely want a copy of Spadia. It would be absolutely in your worst decision not to pick her up if you're aiming for Isolde. If you are going pure meta and we are going Jew, obviously we want to completely skip on everyone on this banner. So these are all hard skips so far. And I think that's the smartest route right now. And I did change my mind today. Actually, today I was speaking with some people in the Discord and everything like that, and I came to a decision of I was under the debate of going all the way for the 200 summons to get that free copy of Jiu and try to push to like a P2. But as for now, especially with the release of these 1.8 characters, and not just visually because I like them, but just mechanics and everything that they bring to the table, I am going to probably just go for a P1 on Jiu. And going for the P1 on Jiu, I am really hoping that I pick up a copy of Yenisei, because the reason here is that we are going to be skipping the Tooth Fairy banner. The Tooth Fairy banner, obviously we just did a video on this yesterday, so if you watched that, great, then you understand where I'm coming from. If you didn't and you don't know yet for some reason, the Tooth Fairy rerun banner is going to also have Centurion as a rate up character, which means that there is now only a 33% when you win or lose the 50-50 to get a Tooth Fairy out of that. So it's not worth gambling at that point on that banner at all. Not even, I wouldn't even worry about gambling on that banner at all to try and pick up a Tooth Fairy and try to get lucky. It's just not worth it. We have this other healer that is coming out right here, which also gives us immunity and grants some support. So the first is the Language of Water. This one right here is a one target healing, restoring the target's HP equal to 15% of Yensei's max HP and grants one stack of sturdiness. Sturdiness obviously is damage reduction. We have that on characters already. Also restores the health of an ally with the lowest HP percentage, 10% of Yensei's max HP. So if we look down here at the Insight 3 is what everyone should be going for on any character that they're going to build up. Don't just build them halfway and give up, because obviously the true greatness comes from their Insight 3. When using healing incantations, consume one stack of current. If we look down here, look down here, when consumed, gains Moxie or Empowered Incantation 1, max 3 stacks. Empowered Incantation, when a round begins, a random incantation gains +1 star. So similar mechanic to An Lee, just in a healer format. And this one, I'm not sure if this is specifically saying she gets a +1 or if anyone can get a +1. Again, I try to stay away from the actual gameplay of the CN server because I like to experience all that stuff myself. But when I'm reading this, and someone can correct me down in the comments if you know already, is this +1? It doesn't matter if it's +1 for just her or someone else. It's great either way. Very ungreedy character when it comes to being a healer. Kind of gives some extra mechanics and everything. Moving on. Next, we have the Woman of Action. So just a 1 star of this incantation deals damage, but if we get it up, it gives a debuff. Enemy damage dealt -20%, lasts for 2 turns, and then 25% on the 3 star. So it's always good to basically give debuffs that allow us to take more damage, or just consume or not consume, but shield a little bit more damage, and that's exactly what she's doing. Mass buff, her ultimate, the current knows all. Mass buff grants all allies shield based on 25% of the caster's max HP, lasting for 2 rounds, and immunity. Immune to stats down, negative stats, and control status. Obviously, we're immune to everything, basically. Lasting for 1 round and grants 2 stacks of current to self. So 2 stacks of current to self, perfect. The next character we all know. I don't think we need to really go over her. I think everyone has seen enough videos of her already. But I am saying right now, I'm going for a P0. I've changed my mind. I'm not going all the way for a P1 or a P2. We are going to save some summons to make sure 100% we have enough for some of these characters coming up. I would also like to pick up a Gaetian. So right now, in tandem of what we want, we are going to put our number 1 spot right here, our number 2 spot right here. Yensei, I hope she comes home within any summons that we do on them. Moving on, we have Marcus. Marcus is a burst damage DPS, which is basically taking the spot of, not taking the spot, but also adding to the plant Afflatus that allows us to have a secondary plant DPS alongside with Jessica. Marcus is a really cool character, just has a lot of like just pure damage basically, and the ultimate deals a good amount of damage, also works off of the Eureka and everything like that. So another one of those characters that is pretty cool to play with. I am personally going to skip Marcus. Unpopular decision, but I'm going to skip Marcus because we already got Druvis, and I'm happy with the mechanics of Druvis. She may not put out some massive damage like other characters, but I feel that she makes up for that in her mechanics of being able to petrify, and she has a single target and AoE, which I like in characters to have some diversity. Next up is Isolde. Now, this is a tricky one because if we want Isolde, that means that we also want to grab Spadia. So are we going to do this? Now, here is the thing. Because I changed my mind on going from P1 to P2 of a Jiu Nyangzi, we are going to do our old-fashioned, might as well throw 10 or 20 pulls on this banner and see if we get lucky. So, because the reason I'm saying this is because we do not need 200 summons, or I hope we don't need 200 summons to get all the way through Jiu. We will have a little bit left over, and obviously in the next event and stuff, we're going to be getting more as well, and we'll be getting some through her Jiu's 1.6 event as well. So Spadia will get a 10 to 20 pull on her. If we do not get her, then we are not going for Isolde. So this is an if. If we get Spadia, I will be pulling for Isolde. Now, this is when I said this is not a God's tier, just do exactly what I'm saying. I'm explaining what I am going to be doing, and I hope that the information that I give, my reasoning why I'm doing it and everything resonates with you guys in a way that you can make your own decisions based off of this. So if we get a Spadia in 10 to 20, maybe 30 pulls, we'll be looking at how many summons we have once we get around this point, because I didn't count for the fact that all my characters in the wilderness, I'm getting those free clear drops from just having them in there and getting their like their stories and their items and stuff unlocked. And it did give me a pretty good, I mean, I think I almost got like 8 pulls in the past week from just unlocking those, because this is a fresh account. So we haven't done all of those yet. And I still have a bunch of characters that I need to put in the wilderness to get those. So we will passively over time get a free 10 pull or even 15 or 20 out of those before we get to, later on in these different banners and stuff like that. Along with that being said, next up we have Via. We have, let's just look at this one. We have Via, the plant Afflatus healer. We have Windsong, who has not been released in terms of the kit and everything yet. But I'll tell you right now, 100% I'm pulling for her. She's so badass looking. I just can't. I don't care if she's the worst character in the game. She will be the one mistake that I make in terms of pulling for her. So we will be trying to grab her as a character regardless of that. Next up, sorry, my dog hurt his chin and he's sitting on my lap and he got scared. I just rubbed him in the wrong way on accident. The next up we have August, which is the 5-star plant. We can take a look at August's and Via, we already went over her. We won't go over her again. We'll take a look at August's skills as a mental damage. I am not really, I'm okay. I'll be okay if we miss out on August or if we get them. I'm not really tripping on that. It's not something that I'm really worried about getting. So as of now, we're just going to recap everything before we finish the video, so I don't make it too long for you guys to sit around. We are going for Jiu first and foremost. She is our #1 target on the list. After that is going to be Gaetion. I really like his kind of style and everything that he brings to the table with the new domain expansion and everything that he has. So I feel like he is just like the tip of the iceberg of how powerful he can be, or how powerful he can make others be in the future. Yinsei would be like a pickup, great to pick up. It's okay if we don't. Spadia, we're doing 10 to 20 pulls on her. If we end up getting her, we will be going for Isolde. To be honest, if I go for Isolde and if we get Spadia and we go for Isolde and we lose the 50-50, we're done. We're not going anymore. We're not forcing it. We'll wait. She's not a limited banner. We'll get her at some point. After that, we are going to be going 100% for Via. She is literally the best healer in the game. And I said this before, you know, her full kit was released with the numbers and everything. I just knew it. Like, with the way her abilities and everything work, she is definitely the best healer in the game, and it's going to take a lot to knock her out of her place. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys got some insightful information out of this. Let me know what you guys' path is down in the comments below, which characters you're going for, which characters you're skipping. Let me know what you think about my decision on going for a P0 GU. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, don't do that. Push for a P1, get the 200 and do that. But with all of this information, take it into consideration and let me know how you guys think. Hit that subscribe button if y'all haven't already. Thank you so much. Peace out. I'll see you on the next one.